In this video, we're going to briefly explain what is the United Nations Global Compact, why it's important, as well as the impact that it has on supply chain. So let's start with what it is. As you see here, the United Nations Global Compact is a non-binding pact led by leaders of businesses and firms worldwide with the intent to become sustainable and address policies that are socially responsible and as well report out their findings. These companies and firms want to align their work with the United Nations Global Compact to their 10 principles on human rights, labor, environment, and anti-corruption. These same companies are committed to supporting and advancing the principles of the UN Sustainable Development Goals through collaboration and as well innovation. So for example, companies involved, as you see on the screen here, that was supporting and connecting the goals with their own company are AB InBev in the food and beverage industry, Capgemini, which is a consulting firm in the professional services area, Pirelli in automotive parts, construction materials. Cemex specifically is mainly known for concrete, and Danone in food. Yogurt might be where you're most familiar with them. So all these companies are examples of organizations not acting just as signatories, but actively involved in sustainable efforts themselves for both their companies and societies as a whole. So they're worth looking up on the internet and reading a bit more about it. Now, why is the Global Compact important? It's important because it gives us a unifying vision, and not only a unifying vision of what the world should be like, but also a way for companies to see how it's in their interest as well to participate and lead in their efforts. One other aspect of why it's important is to show that our environment and societies are intertwined with each other with respect to being successful on the issues of sustainability. So some companies, for example, would be Philips. We think of them typically as lighting often, so they've turned their business from not just selling their physical product, but delivering value-added services through the use of their products. So they offer lighting exchange programs, and they'll change your lighting up for you. Ren's, a company making footwear, they use recycled coffee bean shells to make their tennis shoes. Another company, Me Taro out in California, makes activewear shirts out of milk waste byproducts. And fast fashion company H&M is working on designs made out of one material only so that their product can be easily recycled and reuse the materials in the garment. Now, from an impact standpoint, like anything else, good and bad, it's great because we're creating new products for new markets, new customers. On the flip side, it does get argued, too early to tell, but it's being argued that if companies and industries do not engage with sustainability, they'll probably go out of business because customers and clients will not want to work with them. On the positive side, again, it means as societies, we can begin to learn and understand, as well as improve upon our environment, our societies, and our economies. And again, the ability to interact successfully across all three of those areas. So from an example standpoint, two well-known companies, IKEA and furniture. So they're doing some tremendous work, not just in packaging, but how they're creating their products. And then Patagonia as well, as a clothing company, they will take back in your clothing. If it's torn, they'll repair it, send it back. If you send back a garment also that you don't want back, my understanding is they can take it apart and you reuse the materials in other new products. But again, a company well known for their sustainability efforts and worth checking out. Both companies integrate these principles into their company culture and practices, and financially and societally, they're seeing success and acceptance for their practices.